Anyone else feel like you got ghosts watching you when you're working your land? We were lucky enough to move on to family land that's been in the family for over 100 years. And the spot that I'm sitting or standing right here on the North 10, you can see where Laurie's great-great-grandparents had their old homestead, their old farmhouse. It's no longer standing, but you can see the spot that they had it. And right behind me, in the next section across the road, is where her great-grandparents used to live. And they farmed this land. And then Laurie's grandfather farmed this land. So you got 3 generations farming this land. She makes 4. Or we don't necessarily consider ourselves farmers because we think that does a disservice to those that are grinding and those that put everything on the line to help feed us. Those that make the big investments, both time and money, resources. We're just a small operation. I'm worried about 10 acres. Others are worried about thousands of acres. We don't necessarily consider ourselves farmers. For some reason, when we look at our elders, we consider them farmers. Now, they did do the big work of harvesting, plowing, planting. They did all that. And maybe that's why we think they're farmers, think of them as farmers. But we aren't doing that yet. But every time I'm out here on the North 10, or really anywhere on the property, I feel like her relatives are watching us and making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do with what we were given. It's not a scary feeling, but it's one of those feelings that they're watching and you don't want to disappoint them. Her great-great-grandparents bought this land in the 1920s. They didn't have much back then. They made it work and they made do with what they had. In a lot of ways, we're the same way because we're starting from scratch. Yeah, we have a tractor. Yeah, we have a mower on that tractor. Everything we're trying to do, everything we want to do out here, we're doing it with limited resources, just like her great-great-grandparents did. And they made it work. So all the decisions that are made out here are made with the question of, is this what Pete would do? Is this what Walter would do? Is this what George would do? So every decision that we make out here is not just for ourselves. It's with the past generations in mind as well, because we want to be successful for this generation, for us, but we also want to maintain the legacy. Does anybody else have ghosts that's watching over them? Thanks for watching. Stay rooted.